Soldier Field is a historic stadium that has a lot of history behind it. Plans for the stadium began in 1919 when two architects won an architectural competition to build a stadium to honor all of the soldiers lost in the war. Construction officially began in 1922 by the South Park Commission. Construction went on for about 2 years, opening on October 9, 1924. The stadium seated 45,000 spectators at the time it was built. It was originally named Municipal Grant Park Stadium, but 1 year after opening, it was renamed to Soldier Field. The Chicago Fire used to call Soldier Field home for several years. They played there from 1998 to 2001 and from 2004 to 2005. From 2002 to 2003, they played at Cardinal Stadium in Naperville, Illinois. In July of 2006, the Chicago Fire officially had their own stadium to call their own. The stadium is called Toyota Park. It is located in Bridgeview, Illinois. The stadium is spread out over 8 acres and cost over $100 million to build. It is a true soccer stadium. Not only does it have the game field, but adjacent to the stadium there are two practice fields. The dimensions of the field are 120 yards long by 75 yards wide. A lot of fields nowadays are turf, which has its advantages, but they decided to go with a natural grass stadium. The field has full heating, drainage, and aeration capabilities. The cost of that was about $1.7 million. Toyota Park holds roughly 20,000 spectators for games, soccer games, and about 26,000 spectators for concerts. The next stadium I'm going to talk about is home for two teams, the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks. The United Center opened August 18, 1994. It seats 20,500 spectators for hockey games, 21,711 spectators for basketball games, and 23,500 spectators for concerts. It is known to be the biggest arena in size in the United States, with numerous restaurants and bars located inside. The United Center has held several notable concerts such as Madonna, the Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, and Kanye West. Some other events it has hosted are the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament and the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. As we all know, Chicago has two professional baseball teams, the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox play at U.S. Cellular Field located on the south side of Chicago. It was formerly known as Comiskey Park until the naming rights were taken over by U.S. Cellular in January of 2003. New Comiskey Park opened its doors on April 18, 1991. The reason I say New Comiskey Park is because the stadium that the White Sox previously played in was also known as Comiskey Park, so they are referred to as new and old. One unique feature of the ballpark is the exploding scoreboard that shoots fireworks after a White Sox home run or after winning a game. It is a fairly big ballpark seating roughly 40,000 spectators. Last but definitely not least is Wrigley Field, the home of the Chicago Cubs. Wrigley Field is the second oldest ballpark behind Boston's Fenway Park. There is so much history behind Wrigley Field. The first game ever played here was on April 23, 1914, when the Federals defeated Kansas City 9-1. Every game for the past several years has been sold out with a capacity of 41,118 spectators. Wrigley Field is one of the very few parks that has that original classic style, which is why so many people love it. Some unique features are the ivy-covered outfield walls, the original scoreboard, and the surrounding atmosphere that is truly unexplainable. The city of Chicago is a great city for sports, whether you like baseball, basketball, soccer, or football. We have it all. So if you have a chance to visit any of these stadiums I just talked about, I highly advise you do because of the uniqueness of each ballpark.